So I would like you to give a warm chamber welcome to Joe Jacobi.
So, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol has an office in the Atlanta, Georgia airport. There's a big plate glass window, and on the other side of that window is an agent who looks at me and he says, "You came from where and on what flight?" And of course, I'm thinking, because I'm a guy, he didn't hear me because of the window, so now I'm speaking really loud there. I paddled a kayak from Havana, Cuba to Key West, Florida. I got in about 48 hours ago. And he looks at me and he says, "I have a few more questions." As a lot of people did. You know, over the previous 48 hours, I've had a lot of time in the car between driving from Key West up to Atlanta, where I knew I would have my first opportunity to check in with Border Patrol after this epic kayak adventure. 34 hours, paddling 113 miles with a lot of things that didn't go exactly as planned in the middle of the ocean. This particular experience highlighted a very interesting past 18 months for me. And 18 months ago was just about the exact time that I resigned my position as the CEO of USA Canoe Kayak, the sport I love, the sport I've been a part of since I've been 8 years old, the organization, the national governing body that I relocated from Charlotte, North Carolina to Oklahoma City, making it the only Olympic sport that bases its headquarters in the state of Oklahoma. And during that time, that year and a half, I've run marathons. I've had the opportunity to go to Mexico to build a home for a family in need. There have been so many great things that have changed during this time period. And yet, I can look at all of you and tell you it wasn't always this way. When I was the CEO of USA Canoe Kayak, I very much lost my way, especially my health. I let the stress of the job get to me in a way where I was so busy taking care of everyone and everything else, I forgot about me. And my diet changed, my stress level changed, the way I interacted with my employees changed, and just my availability to my own family changed. And I knew something had to give, and I knew it had to start with me. Probably the hardest thing about being the CEO of USA Canoe Kayak and representing these incredible young athletes that are training exactly the way that Mike mentioned in that story, 50, 60 hours a week for their chance to paddle the Olympic whitewater course in Rio de Janeiro for about 80 seconds and their chance to win an Olympic medal. The hardest part for me was feeling like the best attribute that I had to be their leader, to be an Olympic champion, to be the person who knew how to do that they had lost confidence in me because I had lost confidence in myself. And to show you exactly about the moment that I'm talking about that gave me that confidence, I want to show you a video. This video I'm about to show you actually is very relevant here in Oklahoma City right now. I'm going to show you a video of my 1992 Olympic whitewater race. Relevant because we have a brand new whitewater center opening up down at the boathouse right now. But what you're going to see in this video is me and my canoe partner. We are 2 people in a boat navigating the 1992 Olympic whitewater course in Barcelona, Spain. And the idea is to navigate the rapids and the poles, the race course, for time. The idea is to maneuver in and around the slalom gates as fast as you can without touching them. If you touch the poles with your boat body or paddle, you get a 5-second penalty added to your time. Let's see if I can get this going. If you miss the gate altogether, it is 50 seconds out of your time. And because we don't have sound, and this is okay, I get to announce my own canoeing race here, which I've done before. I've been a commentator for the Olympic Games in NBC. What you're seeing right now is what it feels like to paddle the 1992 Olympic whitewater course. I gotta tell you, there were no GoPro cameras back in the 1992 Olympics. These were big cameras mounted on your head. You can tell it's a very narrow course. The whitewater is going nonstop. You can see the poles that you have to navigate around. This is a very similar channel as to what is about to open at the Boathouse District right now. What you're seeing here is the second of our 2 race runs at the 92 Olympic Games. That's my partner Scott in the front of the boat, or we call the bow. I am in the back of the boat, called the stern. We are kneeling on 2 knees using 1-bladed paddles, and we are going downstream through the green gates, and then there's a red one right there. We have to go upstream against the current through that. So that's the most physical part of what we do. This is obviously the only 2-person event, making teamwork and communication to be a big part of success in this particular boat. We're not talking to each other. We set a game plan before we paddle, and my partner Scott sets a pace, and my job is to simply follow him. His body movements are communicating to me different things that he wants to do with the boat all the way down the course. We're coming into the very end of the race right here. We've got a clean run going, super fast, we know it, and then we pinch this gate very tight. Hard to tell, maybe we'll get the slow motion replay. Cool thing about this, we're across the finish line. We navigated the course cleanly. We know that we're in first place. But what's cool about that moment, we didn't know we had won the Olympics at that point. We just knew we had done the very best we could do. You can see how close we were to touching the hole, right? What's interesting about that, and it does confirm that we did win. That's my son right there. All right, so I gotta figure out how to stop this. Maybe you guys do mind. So I actually brought with me today the gold medal that we won at the Olympic Games. I probably should have gotten it out. You might take that out and pass it around the room, and it'll be good. It'll make its way back to me. Piece of paper. We could have slipped a piece of paper between my life jacket and the bottom of that pole. Had we touched that gate, we would have had 5 seconds added to our time. That would be an Olympic bronze medal that we'd be passing around right now instead of an Olympic gold medal. That's how close the sport is, and I gotta tell you, it makes me so happy. This is the sport that truly calls Oklahoma City home now. And you're going to see that in a big way this weekend. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. I have a podcast that I like to listen to. It's by a podcaster named Lewis Howes. Lewis is a small entrepreneur, but he's also an Olympic hopeful in the sport of team handball. And he has this great thing that he does when he has guests. He brings business guests onto his podcast, and at the end of his podcast, he asks his guests if your whole body of work was erased and gone, and you knew this was at the end, and put a piece of paper and a pencil in front of you, and you had to write 3 truths about what you know and what you learned, and that's what's going to remain behind. What would those 3 truths be? And one of the things I like to do, because mine sort of changed, quite a bit, but I like to think like this. I thought I would sort of share with you my 3 truths where we are right now as they apply to leadership, which is a great theme given the audience that's in front of us right now. So my first one is the big leaps in life are a product of the small steps that you take every day. Now, easy to think about, right? But I gotta tell you, it doesn't matter whether it's a gold medal or whether it's paddling across from Cuba to Florida and these things that kind of look big. What was interesting was that when I hit my low point as the CEO of USA Canoe Kayak, and there were so many good things going on in my life, but what I just couldn't pull together were those small daily investments in myself, those small daily habits, those choices that we can make every day. My day looked so bad. Like, I would be embarrassed for you to see, not what I did from 9 to 5, but what it looked like between 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. the next day. I mean, what I ate and the way how poorly I slept, and just having screens and technology around me all the time. Anything to just distract my attention from what's important is what I did. But what happened was, in January of 2013, right at the start of the year, I would usually spend my holidays with my family at our home in Tennessee, come back in the first week of January, and I started to work out in the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation Employee Wellness Program. I didn't have any goals. I just wanted to work out with my friends, play a little bit, just do something different, change the routine a little bit. And over a few weeks, I began to notice some difference. I got some energy back. I lost a little bit of weight. And this time, I cannot tell you why this is, but this time, I started asking myself, this is good. What else can I do? What else might work? I just had this big framework of experimentation. The physical stuff felt good, but I knew there had to be more to it. I became very interested in asking people about times that they were stuck and how did they get unstuck. And then that changed the kind of blogs I started to read and the kind of podcasts I started to listen to and the books that I would read, the kind of speakers and videos I look at on YouTube. And I very much got a sense, very slowly things were changing. From my physical health, I began to kind of work into my mental and emotional health. And then eventually my spiritual health. This was a long path. But my day changed, especially the mornings, from just backing up everything from when I had to be at work, answering emails and phone calls that I absolutely dreaded, to eventually waking up and spending a full hour just for myself, working myself through a practice, through a routine, and just slowly engage myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in very small steps. The change was very small. Everything that I see today, all these interesting people and experiences that come up, and I'm telling you, they just come out of nowhere. The Cuba trip, going to Mexico, they came out of nowhere. They found me. I didn't find them. But I relate it back to having that time in the morning where any time during the day that works for you, where you are waking up for yourself, not for something else, not for someone else. That is the idea of the big leaps in life are a product of the small steps that you take every day. That kind of leads into this second truth. The noise can be quieted. So this was one, and I should tell you that my wife is someone who worked at CNN from day one for the first 15 years of the company. We know what it's like to have news coming into the house. We know today what it's like to be checking Facebook and social media on and on. What it's like to be hostage, to your inbox, or to be working with negative people or that you don't want to be working with. And to me, this idea of quieting the noise, it's a part of the practice. It is a part of what you can work on each day and investing in yourself and appreciating just taking a 5-minute walk outside before work by yourself, unplugging, with taking no technology with you. In the room today, I have my friend Mark Robbo, who's an absolute pillar in this running community, great ambassador. He got me into the sport of running when I moved to Oklahoma City. I needed something besides the sport of canoe kayak and the boathouse. And one of my favorite things to do is just to run with no technology. I don't want to know how long I've been running, how fast, when I have to be back. I just want to go out and enjoy moving and enjoy nature anywhere. It doesn't matter whether I'm in an office park, in a suburban neighborhood, or Central Park. It's just great to be outside and putting that noise behind you. I think what I feel about this one particular point, quieting the noise, I think the reason we don't is because we create doubt what if we're not in the know? What if we're not knowing what's happening in the news or knowing what someone else is saying on social media? And that doubt creates fear. The thing is, about this one point on quieting the noise, it takes courage. That's the deal with quieting the noise. It takes courage. And you cannot have courage without bringing vulnerability along with you. And that's just the reality of it. It comes with you. And that was a big, big one for me. And that leads into my third and final truth. And this is a good one here for Oklahoma City right now. And that is embrace uncertainty. I've been on whitewater rapids for 40 years. That's most of my life. That's everything except for about 7 years of my life. I have experienced whitewater kayaking, not so much the ocean kayaking and paddling across the Florida Straits. That was a bit different than what I normally do. I'm usually paddling on narrow rivers constricted by rocks that flow downhill and move really fast. And the thing about paddling whitewater is you can't plan for a finish line. That activity, you have to be so present and so aware and so much in the zone of what you're doing right now. One of the things I like about going for a run is that I can drift a little bit and say, what might I like to have for dinner? If I do that in kayaking, I get hurt. It hurts a lot. But it's so, everyone knows this. There's a lot of sports like this. You can imagine skiing, you can water skiing. There's so many things that bring you in the moment that keep you present. And that idea of not knowing how it's going to end is okay. That idea that there are so many things that you can do, that you do have control of, that you do have choices that affect the outcome. But that moment that you try to totally control the outcome, you are now taking yourself out of your zone of performance. And you can't control. I can't control what my time is going to be in a marathon. I can't control what color medal I'm going to win in the Olympics. That's the thing about watching that video. There was no plan or goal to win a medal at the Olympics. We just went there to do the best we could, to stay in the moment and stay within a race within ourselves. And we would put that forward. And whatever that brought us would be 100% okay. That's that thing about once you put that out there, that I want that time, I want that color medal, you start to control something you can't control. And you only have so much energy to get through the day. And that's really what I've learned about embracing uncertainty, and what the river has taught me, is that truly we are energy managers. That's what we do day to day. We manage energy. And we try to, just like a company here in this town, we have to figure out how to find it, how to replenish it, and how to expend it. And to simplify it down to how you're going to do that is that your goal is to expand your capacity for that energy, and that is improving your health day to day. And then my hope is that we can all take that energy, that surplus of energy, and use it to serve something much bigger than us. That's how these things tie together. That is what these rivers have taught me. And now we're at this time where we are getting ready to open up this $45 million whitewater facility at the Oklahoma City Boathouse District. It actually opens this weekend. It is absolutely free to come see the Olympic trials, rafting. You'll be able to see the rafting happen. This has been, the Olympic trials conclude, the 2016 Olympic trials conclude here in Oklahoma City in the sport of whitewater canoeing. I have been to the Olympic trials as an athlete, as a coach, as the CEO of the organization, and as a broadcaster for NBC. I have the best world now. It's dead. My 15-year-old daughter is competing in these Olympic trials. Just for experience. She's not in contention for the team. But she's the happiest young person there, racing in the sport of canoe kayak right now. And to see her and to get to be out there supporting her, this is truly a dream come true. I've told my friends that for the last 6.5 years, I've taken my 40 years in whitewater, and I've tried to share with Oklahomans what this is going to be like when it's done. And I don't have to anymore. This is your landscape. This is your backyard. It's our backyard. This is who we are in Oklahoma City now. This is Whitewater Horse. This is us. My family and I have a home in Appalachia where the movement of water is like in the DNA of people. And that's not quite the case here yet, but that's okay. It's going to be from here going forward. We're going to have some amazing opportunities for our kids, for our adults, for our companies, just to do phenomenal, to test ideas, to test the way you see the world. I know Eric knows this from being a rower. It's nice, as opposed to just being on the shore looking at the water, to be in the boat and get a perspective of what the land looks like from the water. And, I'll just say for me, I like it from moving water, but that's okay to do if I was as fit as you were, I'd probably be okay powering my own boat. I'll take the help of the water. So, with that, I know that we have some other things to get to, but I'll just say, as opposed to doing the usual Q&A that we would do, if you have any questions for me, I would love to hear from you. The easiest way to reach me is at Jacobi.com. That's Jacobi.com. You can email me off my website, and you can sign up for my Sunday Morning Joe newsletter that Mike referenced as well. I write about the kind of things that I talk about here. It's absolutely free to sign up for. And aside from the friendships and the family that I love spending time with, writing that column is like the love of my life. I just really enjoy doing it, so thank you. This is, I think, my most dedicated reader right here. He responds to me most Sunday mornings, and that's what I love. I love hearing from people. That's really the kind of what pulls me into writing every week and doing this, is that I don't have a staff or an administrative assistant. All the emails come right to me. So if you have any questions about what's going on down at the river or about what I talked about today, I would love to hear from you. I am a Leadership Oklahoma City Class 31 graduate. I love these leadership programs. Congratulations to all of you. I hope you will take some of this and just expand upon it and stay open and just keep pushing this community forward. It is the most awesome place in the world. Thank you very much.